Hello, everybody, and welcome to 2026. Unless you're watching this, of course, in the future or the past, who knows? That might be possible in 10 years from now. People may be able to go back to the past to hear stuff from the future. Oh, I have to get my head around that. I'm going to be speaking to Caro Kelley today, all about her life in music. But first, we're going to enjoy the dancing cat, who's still here for this year.
Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop.
Caro, thanks you so much for joining me. Let's start with the name, because that was an interesting little story you just told me, and other people may not know it. So let's start there. You're saying the name has a German origin.
That's right. So my name is Caroline, and I am from the US, but I live here in Munich. And Caroline Kelley is already a famous person. So back in my early branding days, who am I going to be as an artist? Caroline Kelley was out because she's more famous than me. She's a supermodel. So I was like, well, I'll call myself Caro, which is a German nickname for Caroline, and some Germans have already started calling me that. But the problem is that they pronounce it Caro, but I can't really say it correctly because I can't roll my R's. And Caro. But it's like with the rolled R, and I can't do a rolled R. So I just say Caro, which is what the English speakers in Munich call me. But then the Germans always think I'm saying Carol, like as in Carole King, Caro Kelley. And I've even got some people who continuously call me Carol. It drives me crazy. So yeah, I can't even say my own name. We're off to a good start.
There's a great piece of content in there somewhere, isn't there?
I
feel like you should do that. Have you done this already? If you haven't done this already, I feel like you should do it. You should go onto the streets of Germany and say, I can't say my own name, but you can. So could you say it for me?
That's a great idea. I would love to do that. And I love talking to Germans in the street because they think that you're going to murder them. They're like, don't talk to me. So it would go over really well. That's very funny. I can't pronounce my own name. Could you say it for me?
Yeah.
That's very, you know what? Everybody stay tuned. It's coming.
That's good. I like that. We should definitely look forward to seeing that in 2026. That's brilliant. Now, quite often on this show, people have had instruments on the wall, normally guitars, but what's that you've got?
This is the only instrument I have in my apartment.
Yeah.
The rest are all in my studio. This is a banjolele.
A banjolele.
Yeah. Isn't it cute?
Oh,
yeah.
Beautiful.
The rest of my instruments are in my studio. This is the only one I've got.
Cool. How many strings is that?
That's got 4. It's a ukulele, but it's
4 strings.
It's just crafted like a banjo, so it sounds like a banjo. Yeah.
That's tremendous.
It's
and
cute.
you know how to play that.
Yeah, if you could play the ukulele, which is the easiest stringed instrument. I bought my first guitar literally a month ago.
Really?
Yeah, just, a little tax break, I just thought, okay, it's time. I thought I'd give it a try. I do play the ukulele. It's not very hard. Even I could figure that out. And I play the banjo. I play the 5-string banjo.
I've never, this is the God's honest truth. I've never played a ukulele.
It's really easy.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, because I play a bit of guitar, I'm wondering now, because I play guitar, is it going to be easy to play ukulele?
Yeah, the chords are just so simple. The main problem is how tiny it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, get in your hand. But like a lot of one, just needing to fret one
thin
string.
fingers, though. I've got long fingers.
Me too. Crazy long fingers.
I can spread like over an octave on the piano. Right.
Yeah.
But my fingers are quite thin, so I might be all right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Might give it a go in 2026. Look out, folks. Me and the ukulele.
But yeah, I'm a pianist. So stringed instruments are just a total conundrum to me. But I thought in 2026, I'll give it a go. People think I play the guitar anyway. Might as well give it a try.
Oh, I'll give you some guitar lessons. It'll be great.
I need them.
Yeah. No, let's do that. I like piano. I like piano a lot. When did you start playing piano?
When I was 4.
4.
So,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the time to start playing.
Yes. I don't even remember learning. I actually started learning to read music before I started learning to read English. So it's just absolutely second nature at this point.
I wish I'd done that.
It's great.
Caro, I mean, you just like that sounds like heaven to me. My problem was that I found that by the time I started learning how to read music, I realized I was kind of music reading dyslexic.
Yeah, a lot of people, it doesn't click, it's difficult. I actually think that that's fine. I teach piano lessons now, and every once in a while I have a kid who's so resistant. And I'm usually like, all right, no, you're never gonna be a classical, concert pianist, so let's do chord stuff. It's
Oh,
I mean, I think doing both is the most important. If you really can, I think it's such a good skill. But like, sometimes it doesn't click, and I'm not going to force anybody to do something that makes them unhappy.
but did you find it fun straight away? Or, I mean, because there's like, yeah.
I mean, I went through my phase where I didn't like practicing, but I was a very obedient child. I'm a big people pleaser. And I think I didn't know, but I think I was just a musical kid. And my piano teacher is a lovely person, and I really liked her. So I just think,
That's the bit that helps.
Yeah.
That's the bit that massively, massively helps. And you then, if you're trying to do that with other people now, you try and
Yes.
be the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever had to like say, I can't teach you because we just don't click?
Do any of my families that I teach watch podcasts? Listen to podcasts?
You could just answer it kind of diplomatically.
No, I think we've had problems with I mean, everybody's got a different skill set. I do think, hard work is what's most important. Talent is a thing, but without hard work, it gets you absolutely nowhere. The only time I've stopped teaching is families who like cancel on me constantly, or I had a family basically give the scheduling of lessons to their 12-year-old. And then she would just be like, oh, sorry, I'm at a friend's house. And I was like, okay. And so eventually I was like, I'm not coming anymore. This is ridiculous. That's pretty much it. I have had some hard heart-to-hearts with kids and parents who don't practice, mostly being like, this is for you. Like, I can't care more than you. But I more try to lead the kid to be like, is this something you want to do? Because if not, it's okay. I'm not going to be mad at you. But I would never just be like, you know what? I can't deal with it anymore.
Oh,
yeah.
Have you ever found any geniuses? Have you ever been in the presence of musical genius? Yeah.
And I really hope, I feel like, so I had the same piano teacher my entire life, and that is really uncommon, really uncommon. Kids move, change schools, like it happens. And so most of the kids that I've taught that I'm like, oh, wow, this is a musical child, like a musical child. I don't teach them anymore for various reasons. And I'm always hoping that they found, they kept the motivation, and that they found other teachers that they really enjoy, because again, that without hard work and dedication and structure can be wasted. It really can,
now listen, Caro, if you're listening to this and you have been taught by Caro in the past and you've moved on now, can you just write to her?
Please.
That would be lovely. Wouldn't that be a lovely start to 2026?
I mean, I keep in touch with all my old music teachers from school. We're friends on Facebook. Oh yeah. I had one of my professors reach out to me, and he was like, if you need me to record trumpet on any of your songs, I'd love to record for you. I'm in touch with so many of them because they were so important to me. And so that would be incredible to end up being friends with a future I mean,
I had some crap music teachers, but I had some brilliant music teachers as well. Let's talk about that for a minute, because that is really important in the kind of development of an artist. And I know, like, one of the things that you've done recently is you've talked about how many albums that you listened to last year, etc. Which, you got to do the work. You got
Listen,
to do the
it's 2026 as well, so we can talk about this upcoming year too. I mean,
okay. So, but you've got to do the work. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I found that the ones that really inspired me, music teacher wise, were the ones that were really into music.
Yeah.
I know that sounds really odd, but like, I did have a couple of music teachers who that they were quite into the teaching, but they weren't really into music.
Yeah.
That's odd, right? To me, that's kind of odd. But I had one that was brilliant. He played, I don't know whether you know this program because it's very English, but we used to have a program called Last of the Summer Wine over here.
Just through my contact with British culture, my partner is British, I
Right.
have heard of this. I've never seen, I don't
Okay.
know it, but I know that it exists.
It
Yeah.
was kind of like a Sunday, I think it was a Sunday evening kind of program.
The idea in my head is that it's for old people.
Well, this,
Okay.
it was for
Good.
families back in the day.
Okay.
It's three guys I think in the Yorkshire Dales, and they were all old, but then they were kind of rambling around, and it was comedy. One of the guys that was in it, he did the voice of Wallace or Gromit. So you know, right, yeah. But he played, this music teacher, he played the harmonica, which was the main instrument on the theme tune to it.
Okay.
So this was a very famous piece of music. So, and he was great. He was fantastic. And the fact that he had this kind of relationship with like popular culture as well, that was really good. And then another music teacher who was fantastic was one that you'll love this. So he once played Time by Pink Floyd, which is the one with the clocks.
Oh yeah, great tune.
And then the alarm and then whatever. But he played that so loud that he got everybody coming out of their classes and lining up in the assembly hall because they thought the alarm had gone off.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Yeah. But and he really inspired me because he taught me that I could play music when I couldn't play music. Now that's an important thing, isn't it? Don't you think that that's like, for a lot of people, that's part of the awakening, is that that you can do stuff beyond your immediate capability when it comes to music.
I always say, I also teach singing, and especially like people are frightened of.
We can all sing.
Bad. Yes, I believe so. Yeah. Very, 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 very few people are tone deaf. Very, very few. It's very uncommon. Those people don't like music because they can't differentiate between pitches. Yeah. So if you want to sing, you're probably not tone deaf. And but people are so frightened of making mistakes, like so frightened. They treat it differently than other instruments, and that's very silly. And I always say, and what happens if we mess up? And the answer is nothing. We don't explode. Nobody dies. Everything's fine. Like, it's okay. And it's allowed to be hard. It's allowed to be hard. It's a hard skill to learn. You just have to give yourself time, make a recording of what you're doing now, and then record yourself again in a year. When you're in it, you can't see it. But like, it's fine. It's all fine. You know?
Every skill needs developing.
Yes.
Right. Yes. It's even like, you know, doing things like this, people assume, and especially in sort of this day and age, people assume, oh, I can just start a podcast and just do it, and it's going to be yeah. I mean, it's.
I will say, people ask me to start podcasts all the time, and I'm like, oh, it's so much, like, it's hard. Like, that would be really hard. So no. Maybe one day, but
yeah, come on, folks. You try doing 620 episodes of something.
No.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Yeah. But also, though, I think you have to appreciate that wherever you come from and however much you suck at first, right, you have to make that start. Right. And then the skill, the absolute skill, is looking at that critically, but not so critically that you then give up. Yeah. And then going, right, actually, what have I learned from that? Now, talk to me then about this listening to a lot of records, because for me, and I've spoken to a lot of musicians about this over the last 5 years or so. I believe, it's my belief, that a lot of people these days just don't know how to listen. Right? When it comes to music, they don't know how to listen, right? Because what they do day in, day out is they hear music. They don't listen to music.
Yeah.
Right. And I, through school, used to get called weird by friends and whatever, because I didn't like reading books, right? Didn't like reading books. I didn't like the physical aspect of reading books. So I kind of got back into it in my 40s. But before that, I was just like, no, I can't be bothered. No, books don't like work for me. But I used to say I read music, and but reading music, I don't mean like the notes or whatever, but like if someone puts a piece of music on, my ears and my mind dissect that piece of music, and I can go back and back and back and back to that piece of music, and I will find something else, and then I'll work out like what that's doing with that and where that comes from, and so I'm kind of reading music. But I feel like most people these days, but maybe partly because of the way that music is now disseminated, just hear it.
Yeah.
And that then stops them from actually pushing the boundaries of what they actually listen to. And
Yeah.
I think with that, what we get are people that say this all the time. That's noise. Don't like that.
Well, this is very funny that you say this, because that's one of the quips I always say is I don't like noisy music. The thing that's so interesting to me is I get accused of this all the time. You're not listening. Well, no. Taste is a thing.
Oh yeah,
People like, yes. And because I really think that the type of people who do projects like this tend to not like the same type of music that I like, which is very interesting. I think the world of listening to and reviewing music online is very male dominated, big time. And there's not been a lot of women who like the type of music that I like doing this. And I think there's been a lot of pushback, because I'll say, I'm listening. So what I've done is I've listened to 1,000 albums in a year. And I'm doing it again. I actually did it from May 2024 to May 2025. So now between May and the end of the year, I was just listening to maybe like 2 albums a day, something like that. And now I'm starting the project again.
Wow.
And I'm using the 1001 album generator, Rolling Stones top 500 albums, Grammy winners, recommendations, things like that, new releases. So this means I'm exposed to a lot of new music, and this includes music that I do not like, and I do not like noisy music. However, I don't think people realize I am aware of this bias, and also it's fine. A lot of people who love music don't like really loud, noisy, ridiculous things, but I still enjoy listening to it. Does that make sense? I can not like it, but enjoy listening to it. Yeah. I want to know about what I like and don't like.
Yes.
And I've noticed I like some noisy music, and that's been so fun for me to discover where's the line.
Yep.
That's really interesting to me. But every time I publicly say, oh, this is like not for me, people get so mad, and they're like, you're just not listening. Like, if you're listening to 1,000 albums in a year, you're not really listening. And I'm like, okay. Like, I am a professional musician, and I am a good listener. I'm very good at sort of taking in and understanding what it is that I like. And like, I can understand something and not like it. Something can influence me and I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's obvious, but maybe not.
I'd say you're definitely listening to music. The other thing with that as well is, and I know this just by being the age that I am, is that changes as you get older as well.
Sure. Oh yeah. Right? Absolutely.
I actually think for a lot of people, so when you say it's male dominated, I'd say it's male dominated, but it's also, to some extent, it's male dominated by people my age.
Yes, that is definitely true. And they want to talk about music, but like they're very dismissive of some type. Like I'm trying not to be dismissive. And I just had someone comment yesterday on a post that was like, you're being dismissive of what other people like. And I was like, but I listened to it with an open mind. And yes, in that particular video, I'm talking about albums I don't like, but every once in a while, I'll do a video about albums that surprised me, and I'll get, I'll be like, this Limp Bizkit album was awesome. Like, so you're just not seeing them both at the same time. There are a lot of people who watch all my videos and they start to notice, okay, she is being open-minded, but I don't like everything. And people act like you must like everything. And I'm like, you're a liar. Like, you don't like stuff. Why can't I say what I don't like? I don't think, like, it's fun. I'm having a lot of fun.
I'm going to blow this open now. I'm going to be controversial. Okay.
Please.
I feel like when it got to the end of the year, here's the funny thing, right? When it got to the end of the year and we all got our Spotify Wrapped, and then we got Spotify Wrapped for, you know, the creative work that we do. You would have got one as an artist, but you also got one
Yes.
as a listener, right?
Yeah.
Same here. What was your listening age?
Oh, mine was like 73.
Okay, so yours was 73. Okay, mine was 21.
Ah, whoa. Yeah.
21, right? I'm going to say, right, and I'm going to, you know, put this out there as a challenge now. I bet most of the other people that do what I do, their listening age was much, much higher.
Yeah.
Right.
That's probably right.
And one of the reasons mine was 21 is because I am going out looking for new music.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just see that a lot of these old boys, sorry, but it is you out there. Yeah, they seem to be like trying to get us to listen to, or they try and, you know, convince us that they're a purveyor of a lot of music and they're very eclectic in their taste or whatever. But actually, if you delve into the rhetoric of what they say and what they give grace to, and then what they, you know, actually have a go at, they're actually really sort of stuck in a time warp.
Yeah.
They're stuck there in sort of like the 1970s or 1960s or anything that's influenced by that. They, you know, they're not. I don't ever see anybody listening to anything avant-garde.
Well, I wonder if. Oh, I do hear a lot of people saying like, well, music sucks now. Well, music is different now. And it's different in the fact that if you want to go find, there's amazing music being made right now, but you have to go find it. And that's
100%.
different. You
I have
know?
that conversation all the time.
Now, there's also great popular music. There's some artists where I feel like female fronted pop right now is just amazing. There's so much good stuff, but there's also just a lot of mass generated crap. There's a lot of, you know, record labels owning old discography and they're just remixing because then they make money off it. Like there's a lot of just boring slop, but you have to then put in the effort. You have to go find modern artists, and maybe some people don't know how to do that.
Do you know what? One of the things, though, that always gets me about that whole conversation as well, about the rose-tinted specs of the, you know, the music of the past, and that's, you know, oh, there's never been any good music produced since 2000, whatever. You know, it's one of the things about that is, are those people forgetting? Are those people not actually going back and really looking at the music of different ages and whatever? Because it's like everything in life. There's always been great music and there's always been rubbish.
Yeah.
It's always.
I've listened to a lot of it.
100%. You take an era like the 80s, you know, a decade like the 80s. There was some great innovative music, but there was some very lame stuff as well.
Well, this could be another thing about why people get mad at me, is because I wasn't alive in the 80s, okay? So I'm going back and listening to some of the most important albums of the 80s. And the 80s is a great decade as an example because I'm not a big fan. And I'll hear it and be like, nope. And the people who liked it at the time have the nostalgia and they're like, how dare you? And I'm like, well, I don't think it's very good because I have no nostalgia for this music, and they get really angry. And I guess I'm trying to be open-minded when people get angry. Like there's things that I love and people don't like it. And I'm okay with it.
And there were 12 bars there, and all that happened was like dum dum dum.
Don't get me started about average blues. Like I'm like, no, thank you. I don't like it. Right? I don't like new wave, pretty much at all. But yeah, I just think taste is a thing. What I want to do is talk about it. It's fun to talk about it.
Yeah.
This project was for me. This project was not for social media. I don't think people really understand this. I started this, never occurred to me to post about it on social media. Never. Yeah. I did it for about 5 months before I was like, nobody in my life wanted to talk to me about music anymore because I was like, I listen to 1,000 albums a year. And they were like, please shut up. You're so annoying. So I just made a TikTok video and people loved it. And I was like, oh, wait a second. So I did it for me. And I rate the albums for me, not to make people angry. I just wanted to sort of keep track of what I was doing. So
You
Yeah.
don't need to name it because that might be too much. But in that time, listening to all that stuff, have you found the worst album that you've ever listened to?
I found a few, and again, worst is subjective.
Subjective, yeah.
I really don't. I mean, this is not surprising. I don't like industrial music at all. I get it. I understand that there's like
All that.
being avant-garde is fun and
Yeah.
cool. There's a German band, Einstürzende Neubauten, with the album Collapse. It's like the advent of industrial music, and I think that's an important thing. It's the second song, it literally is like a drill in the wall for like a minute, and I was like, nah, bro, I don't need this. And it's like it's an hour. It's really long. And yeah, I don't want to listen to that. So
No.
I would say that one. It's terrible.
The thing is about, I mean, I I had Chris Connolly on here, and it was quite interesting because I shared with him that I don't know whether it was a right thing to do, actually, to share this with him. Well, no, I think he liked me. He did send me his album afterwards, but I did share with him that I'd actually used one of the songs that he was involved with when he was in a band called the Revolting Cocks, to annoy a neighbor.
Amazing.
Because it was just this, that was industrial. It was just this song called Physical, but it was just like, oh, and it just went on for like 13 minutes or something. It just got louder and louder. But I, you know, I think that sometimes, like all art, some art isn't going to be beautiful to our eyes.
Yes, agree.
But
because I rate on enjoyability, then I'm like,
exactly,
1 star.
However, it probably still teaches us something, and
Of course.
and sometimes some of that is just that art. Even the artist would have known is that was just making a statement.
Correct. And the other point is that people who make art like this, they are aware that most people don't like it. That's the point. So do I think that that album should be on a 1,000 album list to hear before you die? I do think that. I didn't like it, but I think that you should listen to it. That's why I'm doing this project. I want to listen to a lot of things. It's very rare that I listen to an album and think, now, why should I listen to this crap? That's pretty rare. That doesn't happen very often. Usually I'm like,
okay, give us a sneaky then. What's the best thing you found so far in 2026?
2026.
Yeah.
I've only listened to 4 albums in 2026.
Okay. So what's the best thing you found so far in 2026?
Well, let me get out my spreadsheet, shall I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one. All right, let's do it. What have I listened to? Okay, so the 2 albums I've listened to in 2026 that I had never heard before was Vivid by The Living Colour from 1988.
Oh, love is a bit ugly head.
And I didn't love it. I gave it 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 is a thumbs up for me, but not like obsessed. And you know, the first song I was like, well, this just sounds like
Time's Up.
To me, it sounded like 90s. I didn't know the year first. I was like, it sounds like sort of rock from the era. Like, why is this important? And then as the album goes on, I was like, I see what this is. And the idea is that it's Black musicians basically being like, well, we can play this style of music that seems white.
It's rock
and
soul.
That's really cool. And they use lots of elements of different genres. And they sing about really interesting things. And I was like, oh, actually, I totally understand why this is an important album. This is cool. I like this. So that was fun for me because I didn't know that with the first song. And this is why I'm listening to an album. An album is a work of art. It's like nowadays, no one listens to albums. You know, they listen to a song. And if I had listened to the first song, I would have been like, I don't like this. I don't understand why.
I'm just going to throw in as a side, you would have loved to see them live.
Oh, sure. And you know what? I'm going to say most things I'm like, I would like this live.
Yeah.
Because I like live music quite a lot.
The drummer at the time, because I did go and see them when that was out.
That's so cool.
The drummer played in a pyramid.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah. See?
Oh,
You would have liked that.
And so
Visual.
that that's a cool discovery. I'd never heard of them before. And then I listened to Songs of a Lost World, the new album from The Cure. I'm trying to get up on all the albums that are up for Grammys because I'm gonna sort of make a few things about that. I thought it was fine. I love The Cure, but I just prefer some of their older albums. None of the songs really stuck with me, but I like their sound quite a lot. So I'm always going to enjoy listening to it. It wasn't my favorite thing in the world.
Okay.
It was fine.
Interesting though, because when you were talking about singing earlier,
Mhm.
have you seen the clips of Robert Smith talking about how he became the singer in the band?
No, but I would be very interested in watching that.
Yeah, he never wanted to be the singer.
He's
Never
got a great
ever
voice.
wanted. Yeah, but he never wanted to be.
Ah.
He's never liked his voice. Never liked his voice,
Interesting.
and always. But he kind of like had to come to terms with the fact that people liked what he was doing.
Sure.
You know, so it's And he said that's the whole of the first 3 albums or so. That's why the vocal mix is so far down in the mix.
Interesting. Oh, wow.
Because he wanted to kind of hide the voice. And
He's got such a unique sound as well. I really like how he sounds.
It's so it's a voice that sounds like it should be out of tune all the time.
True.
And it is actually it is slightly out of tune. I think someone's actually looked at it and it is slightly
That's quite common actually.
Yeah.
There's ways to do that, like certain things. For example, big notes sound a little nice when they're a little sharp. That's like a thing. Yeah. I feel like I quite like the sound of a really good singer live with all of their imperfections. It is something that I don't always prefer about modern pop.
Quite often it's if you're slightly sharp, it's okay. If you're flat, it
correct on big notes. That's right. There's times to be flat, so that's not one of them. Yeah.
No, that's
that's
the karaoke party, which some of you have been to over Christmas, and probably best forgotten. So what are you going to do that's different in 2026?
Well, I will allow myself this year. I'm going to listen to 1,000 albums. I'm doing the 1001 album generator. So that generates albums for me, including many things I've never heard of. I am this year doing it with my Patreon. So we're going to do it as a group. I'm sure not everyone on there will listen to 1,000, but that they have the same link as me. So anybody can join that. And so we'll be able to discuss the albums. That's going to be a lot more fun for me. I'm going to live stream myself listening to some albums. I'm very excited about that. But the other thing I'm going to do is let myself also re-listen to albums that really need a second listen. I still would only, if I re-listen to, an old Bowie album or something I listened to and didn't like, let me try it again. Still, if I listen to it 5 times, it only counts as one album. But I am going to do that, and I'm going to compare to see, because sometimes it's a day-to-day thing. Like it didn't hit me well today. Tomorrow I might like it. So I'm going to compare my old ratings and see if things change. And I'm going to let myself re-listen to some albums I didn't quite get a hold on quite as well as I wanted to.
You're going to have time to write some music in that.
Yes, I would love to do another album, actually. Yeah. I would love to. I am currently songwriting right now.
And what's that sounding like?
What do you mean?
What's it sounding like? What's coming out at the moment? What's that feel like?
I feel like I always like to be like, well, what's a hole I haven't filled yet? Like, what's a type of song I haven't done? I don't like it when things sound the same. That's something I've noticed through my album listening. I get bored really fast. So I'm trying to think, well, what's something that's a little bit different? And I would really like to structure my albums even more and really think about beginning, middle, end, and transitions and all that sorts of things. So I'm trying to think about songs that fit nicely together and say things that I haven't said yet. And as I said, I've got my first guitar, and I love writing on instruments I don't know very well because there's no rules. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, so this will be fun. And that's primarily why I bought the guitar. I thought, well, what's a crazy thing to do? Buy a guitar, literally learn 3 chords and write a song on it. So I'm hoping to do that as well. So I've got some pending funding. It's very expensive to record, and I'm obviously unsigned.
I always feel like a different instrument brings out a completely different way of writing anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. The thing that takes up most of my songwriting time is creating social media content, which as a modern musical artist is the bane of my life. Yeah, so I'm working
It's
on
a
trying to
pain, but
find.
you're enjoying it.
I am enjoying it, but it's an incredible amount of work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That is one of the things that I've transitioned over to. I've started a new thing in 2026 because I just don't feel like a lot of, not from the music world necessarily, but from the business world, a lot of businesses just don't have the bandwidth to do it.
it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I already have many, many full-time jobs as a musician. So
Exactly.
it's very difficult. And it's a full-time job that you must have whether you enjoy it or not. So that's fun. I sort of have a rhythm, but it's a lot of pressure all the time. So that's difficult. And I would rather be spending that time making art. I feel like artists don't get burned out because they get burned out creating art. They get burned out creating small social media clips.
I
And
agree.
it's so disappointing to me that that is the majority of my job at the moment. I'm very lucky. I play live a lot, and so I get a lot of enjoyment from that. I play about 100 shows a year. But yeah, the social media, it's just a constant, like, you need to make videos on your
I do feel like the key is, especially for musicians, is get creative with your content. Don't produce, don't just do what the industry says you should be doing. And by the industry, I mean all of these people now who are like YouTubers or whatever, who are like, this is the way you should do it. Right, you should be lining up your singles, and then you should be doing like these like release things, and it should look like this or whatever. Produce on social media something that you enjoy as a creative process.
Yes.
Right, because ultimately people are drawn to passion, right?
Yes.
And if there's no passion in it, because it looks like you're just going through the process.
Well, what I always tell people is, let's say you're a small artist, and I'm saying this being self-aware. I am a small artist, and nobody knows who I am. Okay, so, but when you post things, nobody cares about you. Nobody cares. So you have to tell them why they should care. You have to, it's like, you can't just say, new song out now. Well, I don't care. Who are you? And it's hard. That's really hard to be like, wait a second, the internet. So your job is to entertain them. And I just think, what if I entertain myself? What if I just make things I want to watch and, enjoy myself? Because now I think what comes across is authenticity. I'm just being myself, and I'm not concerned. I really am not concerned. If I post something, I think it's great, and 20 people like it, I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'll just post something else. I don't mind. And I see a lot of my friends and a lot of people, you put a lot of work into one video, which is never smart. And then it doesn't get the traction that you wanted. And it's so horrible. You're like, well, I spent 4 hours making that clip. I thought it was amazing. And like 15 people liked it. And like, I'm a failure. You cannot get into that spiral. But again, it's terrible that this is the
trouble is, all of the experts will tell you, don't make stuff that you want to make stuff that your audience wants.
That's true, but I try to imagine I'm an audience sometimes. What do I like? You know, and I just do that.
But you've got to find an audience that relates to you.
Yes.
So therefore, it's got to come from you. And ultimately, do you know what? And this is a amazing piece of advice, folks. You can't please all of the people all of the time.
No.
Right? You've heard that said before, right? It's true. You can't. Right? There will be people that don't like this podcast. Mm-hmm. I don't care.
Well, I just posted a video a few days ago, just having a bit of fun, singing through a beat. Anybody can go see that video. Just playing a Beatles song, my favorite band, in a different style, and people hate it. Comment was absolutely disgusting. I was like, yo, chill. But like, I don't care.
Was that
it doesn't matter.
Prudence? Was that what was you playing? Hey Prudence.
Yeah, I just thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Also, I was about to play a Beatles gig. I was up literally about 30 minutes away from playing a Beatles gig. I was up in my studio, which is very close to the performance space. And so I sort of had Beatles in the brain. And I was like, well, I look nice because I'm about to play a concert. And I literally put up the camera, I sat down, and I was like, what if I played this? and I couldn't look up the actual chords. I've played it, but it's been a while because my tablet was charging for the show. And I thought, oh, I'll just make something up. And I recorded it. And now people are like, you've ruined the song. And I was like,
Do you know what would be the funniest thing, but also the best thing in the world, is if Sir Paul McCartney found that and went, do you know what? I love that. And then it
that'd
just
be
blew
great.
up. And
Paul, if you're listening,
Paul,
I love you.
yeah.
And yeah. The Beatles, I don't know. I mean, who knows who runs the Beatles account? They one time reposted one of my videos on TikTok, and I actually died and left my body. I was like, so yeah, I'm
Well, I'm
patiently
pretty
waiting.
certain. I'm pretty certain, right, that if Paul or Ringo were listening, all right, or scroll, I'm sure they don't have time. They probably have someone to scroll through Instagram for them.
Absolutely. Well,
Paul,
they're so open-minded and fun. They'd be like, "Hey, great."
do you know what? I think they'd be like, oh, there's a million of versions of our song that just sound like us doing our song, and this is great. So
who cares? You just have to be yourself, and you have to relax, and there's no other way to get through it. You know, the goal of all of this is just to make more music. So you just have to be a bit zen.
Well, thank you so much for coming. We could talk all day. This has been
it's been super fun. Thanks for having me.
You know, and possibly we might. I will leave you in the background after we finish this. I'm gonna just get you to stay on for a minute or two, and I'm gonna give you a couple of things that I'm listening to at the moment.
Oh, very fun. I'm
not gonna tell everybody, because then they're gonna be like, oh, what was it?
Okay. Yeah, great. I obviously need suggestions. But I'm 2 days into the new year, and I got all sorts of stuff to listen to. So
what I'm going to say to people is, if you want suggestions for perhaps what you've should be listening to, you can message me or Caro afterwards, can't you? You can
join my Patreon. I give you suggestions.
That's right. You can join the Patreon, and that's a better way, because that puts some money in Caro's pocket, so she can actually go and
I'll plug my album. It's this one. That's my lovely mug up on my wall.
It's lovely. You want to go and get it quickly? Do you want to get it quickly? Do you want to hold it?
Sure. I have to take my headphones out.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's do it.
Whoop.
So that's right. If you want to, if you want suggestions for music, don't be lame.
Put them back in. Oh.
Do not be lame.
This is good. This is good viewing. This is what people want.
This is absolutely.
My headphones. Oh. Yeah, this is my album.
There we go. Quiet. Look at that.
That's my face. See, it's me.
That's you.
And I'm very proud of it. And I spent a lot of time and money making it. So that's available. Yes, you can buy it. I've actually just reordered vinyl, which is very exciting for me.
Where is that available?
It's available on Bandcamp to buy.
Bandcamp.
Yes, but of course it's available to stream. I'm more than happy to have people listen to me on Spotify. It's everywhere. And I'm very proud of it, and it's been really well. I will also plug myself that there was a nice article about this album like 2-3 weeks ago on Spin, and they called it the most overlooked album of 2025.
That's perfect.
Isn't that crazy?
That
so
is perfect.
If you want to feel like niche and in the know, and like you have really cool music taste,
I feel that's the thing to do. I might, do you know what? I might actually bring back the T-shirt for 2026. Yeah, we should do that. In 2024, I was getting artists to produce T-shirts, right, that said I listen to, and then the name of the artist on, and then all of the streaming platforms with like the symbols and whatever. But it said, but I bought the T-shirt and bought them a coffee.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Just because if you're going to do that, if you're going to stream the music, folks, just still send the artist some money.
Yes.
Anyway.
Also, buy tickets to see people live. It's one of the only ways that we make money anymore. And it's so difficult, especially after COVID. People don't want to buy tickets until the very last minute. And we have to cancel shows because we don't know if people are coming. And so like I'm headlining in May, and inevitably people will be like, yeah, maybe I'll go to, and like, just buy a ticket. Especially for smaller artists. There's so much good live music around you. And those
cheap
artists
as well, for cheap.
Yeah,
really,
and it's not expensive. Like the tickets to my show cost €15. Like it's not that expensive. And people always say, well, live shows now are so expensive. Well, yeah, Taylor Swift tickets are expensive, but go look at your local, like go to a cool venue and just look and see who's playing and go see someone play.
Yeah.
You should really do that. It's such a cool way to discover new music. There's such good stuff going on right now.
We went to, I think the best example was we went to a Berries gig. I'll give them a shout because they were on the show last year, and it was £10.
Yeah.
Right. In a venue, and there were 4 bands.
There you go.
Go figure that, right?
Yeah.
Look, it costs you more money to go to the cinema.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it does.
Which is, and by the time you bought the sweets and the popcorn and everything else as well, you're broke. You have to remortgage your house. So this, it's a much better way. Just go out with a friend, make friends as well, real friends. That's nice.
No, I agree.
Thank you so much for coming on today.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Folks, this is the wonderful Caro Kelley. If you haven't listened to any of her music, you can do right now. And if you're listening on Spotify, all you need to do is move your thumb from there to there and press boom. And there it is. Add it straight away to a playlist, because that's a great way to make sure that you
that's
keep
very
listening.
helpful as well.
We will be back soon with more of my music. But until then, thank you for all of your support over the last 5 years. And may it continue into 2026. And if you're listening to this in 2030, are we still there? Bye for now.